Welcome to the Catholic Audio Media Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Remember, you can find us at CatholicAudiomedia.com. That's CatholicAudiomedia.com. I've chosen a new format for our interviews. Originally, the interview format that I've used came from being on the radio show, and we had 15-minute programs. So I would take a 30-minute or 40-minute interview, and I would separate it into roughly about 10-minute segments, so it would be part of the 15-minute show, but it would play over several days. What I decided to do, now we have a little bit more freedom, or a lot more freedom in the podcast format. What I'm going to do is an interview will be presented in its entirety. So today we have our first interview under this format. We're going to be talking to Sister Tracey Mathia Dugas. And Sister Tracey is a member of the Daughters of St. Paul. We've had several guests on my interviews when I was doing the radio and even here, which were the Daughters of St. Paul. They're always great people to talk to, and Sister Tracey is no exception. And she's going to talk to us about the Christmas concert they are doing in December in New York, one night in New York, and then 2 nights in Natick, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. So if you're looking for information on that, go to pauline.org/concert. Concert, not plural, just concert. So pauline.org/concert, and you'll see all the information. We mentioned that during the program as well. So let us switch over to the interview I have with Sister Tracey Mathia Dugas.
So Tracey Mathia, so Matthias, but I just took off the S, so Mathia. And my last name is like Degas, but with a U, so Dugas.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you don't have an S where often there is, and where there is an S, you don't pronounce it.
Right. I mean, come on. What is going on with this nun? I know.
So why don't we begin by asking the question, as I said I always do. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So as I said, I'm Sister Tracey Mathia Dugas. I am originally from South Louisiana. I grew up in a Catholic family, but Catholicism was just, something we did on the weekends. And it wasn't until I was in high school that I dated someone who was, he had a relationship with Jesus. He wasn't Catholic, but he talked about Jesus in such a way that sounded like Jesus was a real person, that it fascinated me. And I remember kind of leaning into that and asking him questions about, what is it like if you talk to Jesus, does he talk back to you? And in so many words, I understood from him that, yeah, he does, but it was personal, and that just set me on a path of it intrigued me. And I remember feeling something light up inside of myself that I wanted what he had. I wanted to relate to God in a real way. So I started to just do what was not something I did before, which is spontaneously pray, and use my own words to just communicate with God. So it was great. I was grateful for that. And I really sincerely asked the Lord to reveal himself to me. And it was like learning a new word where you start seeing it everywhere. And I started meeting young people who also had a relationship with God, which made them do what to me were crazy things. Like, for example, my boyfriend at the time, same guy, invited me to a retreat. And it was Catholics. It was a bunch of young Catholic people. And they were part of the NET Ministries, National Evangelization Team. Mm-hmm. They came to my parish in a very small town in South Louisiana. And they made me laugh. Wow. And I remember thinking, like, man, you can actually be cool and be religious? That's amazing.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it just, again, really opened me up to possibilities that up to that point, I was trying to learn the world's way of happiness,
Mm-hmm.
success, beauty, popularity, all of those things. And I was exhausted trying.
Mm.
And I think what I saw, beyond just the kind of entertainment side of these young people was their joy came from having a focus outside of themselves. Their focus was knowing the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and encouraging us to know Him, like to give Him to us.
Mm.
And there was something so powerful and real because I realized, wow, that doesn't get old. That doesn't go out of style.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't turn its back on you. I want that. And so I just really sincerely opened my heart to the Lord. And when I was a junior in high school, I met the Daughters of St. Paul only because a girl overheard me say something that made her think I might be interested in visiting a convent in New Orleans. And
Mm.
that was all God because I was not advertising that I had any interest in religious life. I probably was telling somebody that I saw a nun in a movie and I was just intrigued by the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But she invited me and against my own better judgment, I went with her and we visited the Daughters of St. Paul and they were just really nice and
Huh.
beyond that they were very like they each had a personality
Mm-hmm.
even though they dressed alike,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I thought, wow, these are cool people.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just invited me back and I um, would go visit occasionally. And so by the time I was a freshman in college, I was pretty much on a journey with the sisters that I asked to enter and they accepted me. And so I joined the formation program, and here I am today.
Wow. And roughly what years are we talking about when you came in?
So I visited the first time in 1989,
Mm.
and I entered the community in 1991.
Okay. So that's,
Mhm.
I'm trying, I can't do math to save my life. It's horrendous. But
Yeah,
so 25, and so about
34 years ago.
34 years ago.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. That's so you've
I,
been doing this for over 34 years.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I know it's hard
Wow.
to believe.
And now I've been ordained for 32, so isn't that something?
There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a miracle that God gets us where He gets us.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. And your story is fascinating for a lot of reasons, but I'm from the Boston area.
Okay.
And the Daughters of St. Paul are based in Boston.
Right.
So obviously we always knew them. They always had the store. Besides the fact is I always like to explain when I've interviewed sisters from the Daughters of St. Paul that you go just about anywhere in the world and you're going to find a Daughters of St. Paul store.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
fascinating. I was in Brazil. I've been to the one in Brazil. I've been to the one in Peru. I've been to the one in Santo Domingo. Yeah, and it fascinates me. And you bring out there is that. Well, first of all, you work in media. That's one of the major things that the Daughters of St. Paul do, and
Right.
you guys are pretty expert in media of all types.
Well, I mean, that always makes us very kind of giggle humbly because, in so many ways, media is just everywhere. It's culture, it's production, it's content, it's so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, we would go crazy if we didn't really have a sacramental worldview. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
are the communication. Like, it points us back to our relationship with the Lord. Like, we can't give what we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So even whether we're doing the most traditional form of communication, print media, editing, writing, or if we're taking our expertise or our gifts into more modern or changing types of communication, ultimately our main content is Christ. And you can't, the only way we can give him is if we have him in our hearts. So that's our main job, is to grow in holiness as best we can. And so communicate from what we're living with the Lord is ultimately what it's all about. Because, communications, media, it's changing, it's evolving, it's outside of us, it's inside of us, it's everywhere. And so we really, we can't think that we're that professional or that expert, but we do, our vocation demands that we try, that we go where the Lord is calling us.
Now, and you do it all very well. And one of the things I'm thinking of is, when did Father James Alberione found the order?
We were founded. Congratulations on pronouncing his name so well. Good for you.
I am from Boston. Remember, we're from my hometown. Yeah.
We were founded in 1915.
Okay.
We were founded in Alba, Italy in 1915. So it's only been a little bit over 100 years that we've even existed. And in the life of the church, that's pretty young still. But it's also it is a tremendous gift that he founded us, saying, I'm founding you, but really your founder is St. Paul the Apostle. It's his spirit of living Jesus, so much so that he could say Christ lives in me, to communicate Jesus. And that's what we do. We do it through books. We do it through social media. We do it through concerts. We do it through music. We do it through spoken word, whatever we can do through beauty. To share Jesus.
And one of the things that I fascinate me, which is the reason why I ask you the question, is this is 1915, and not long after it, definitely within 10 years, all of a sudden, mass media begins.
Yes.
It's fascinating.
Yes.
I one of the things, as a matter of fact, I mentioned it in the radio show for was it this week? Saturdays is country day. I listen to country music, and I don't know if you're familiar with the station, but that's right. You're not in Boston.
I am. I'm in Jamaica Plain.
Oh, you are. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Are you familiar with WHRB?
No.
95.3 Harvard Radio. Okay. It's from Harvard University. And they have a Saturday morning program called Hillbilly at Harvard. So Sweet. It's all country music, which you'd probably be familiar with from Louisiana.
I grew up, that's all I heard was country music and Cajun music.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So when I go to bed at night, I go to bed listening to the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now that's been on the air. They call it the oldest radio show. That's been on the air since 1925. As a matter of fact, it's only almost, I think in a couple of weeks, it's exactly 100 years.
Wow.
Which is, you think about, this is when radio starts, everything begins, the whole bit, and your order started 10 years before all that.
Yeah, that is amazing. You said all that, and I thought of my dad because he remembers the Louisiana hayride.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know, but that may have actually preceded the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, wow. Wow. Was it like a concert in Louisiana?
It was. It was these outdoor bluegrass, Cajun country, old country, Hank Williams and Willie Nelson when he would wear a suit.
Wow. Really?
A really nice haircut,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad grew up, that's what he would save his money to go and do and see. And
isn't that something? Wow. And so you enter this world of, this Daughters of St. Paul, and now you're here to talk to us about one of the ministries, which is the recording and the concerts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really a trip to think about. When I was discerning, I was a wedding singer, so
Really?
I had a friend who was a really good pianist and singer, and we did, small town, so we were probably one among maybe three other people that had the ability to do something, but but I always loved to sing. But I always would say that, when I would watch bands and stuff, I would always think, I want to be a backup singer. I don't want to be like, in the front row or the front person.
Hmm.
Um, and what I think is so funny is that pretty much the year after I joined the community, one of our sister singers, she was a soprano, they were recording and she got sick. And
Mm.
the choir director approached my formator and said, I think Tracey could do well enough if we have her sing in the recording. And I thought, well enough, like I don't even know what you're doing. But it was a Christmas album,
Hmm.
and that sort of set the tone. We still have a picture of me in my postulant uniform singing with the professed sisters at that
Wow.
time. And so, yeah, so to this day, we communicate Jesus in a beautiful way through music, which is also, it communicated much to me when I would visit the sisters. There's something about hearing just women singing in a
Hmm.
place with a lot of hard surfaces. The resonance and the echo and the sound sort of surrounds you. And I remember being taken up in that beauty when I would visit. And to be a part of that now and to try to invite people into that through our concerts around Christmas time is such a blessing. And you can just see the Lord's Spirit inhabits that the praises of His people,
Hmm.
and you can see it. You can see it happening in people that don't know what quite to expect. Nun concert, man, that must be kind of
Sure.
dull.
Yeah.
Like, and but what it is really is it's usually the concerts around an hour and a half to 2 hours. It could be even. Um,
Hmm.
where we have about between 15 and 17 selection songs. And the sisters are we're between 7 to 10 sisters. This year we're about seven.
Hmm.
And we just share a lot like what we would do at home when it comes to performance and Christmas. It's a real kind of homey
Hmm.
approach to music, and in between, we call it animating. We just sort of share, maybe give testimony, tell
Wow.
stories, make fun of ourselves a little,
Hmm.
but just try to have a really good time. But at the same time, share from that deeper place of our faith, what motivates us to do what we do, and also we have a good time. We invite the kids up at certain points. We again don't take ourselves too seriously,
Hmm.
but at the same time we do share what really is so meaningful to us, which is the coming of Jesus to us at Christmas. So yeah, so this year
Hmm.
we do have a bit of a shorter list this year because some of our choir members had other obligations that they had to meet. One of which was one sister had to go to Rome to prepare
Mm.
for her final vows. So,
Oh, wow. Wow.
but we will be performing in Staten Island on December the 4th, and
Wow.
in Boston. We're staying in Boston, but in Natick here at
Hmm.
Natick High School Auditorium, and that
Hmm.
will be December the 13th and the 14th.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, all of
Wow.
this information, though, you can see on our website if you just go to connect.pauline.org. Um,
Okay.
and I think if you do like pauline.org/concerts, that probably is better.
Hmm.
Pauline.org/concert. That would actually get you straight to our website that has all the information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what? As I'm speaking to you, let me do exactly that.
Yeah. Put it in
Pauline.org
pauline.org
forward
/concert.
concert
Hmm.
singular
I think singular, and it should just take you.
2025 Christmas concerts. There we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
In New York, December 4th, 6:30 p.m. at Lorenzo's Restaurant,
Yeah.
1100
really
South
neat little
Avenue.
venue.
Yeah, wow.
It's near the Hilton. Staten Island has a Hilton, and right at that address, the 1100 South Avenue. Um, they do a program called Cabaret throughout the year, and we're just kind of plugged into that. So this is it. Accompanied, there's a meal and a concert. And this really is one of our main fundraisers for the year, for the whole year of our mission. So we try to have like sponsors and the tickets. And of course, also the Boston shows are also, we sell tickets. The New York show, there's fewer seats. And from what I understand, it's filling fast.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Sure.
but the Boston shows are still, we're still going strong with those ticket sales. So the December 13th show is at 7 p.m. and the 14th is at 3 p.m. It's a Sunday, so it's like a matinee show.
Right. So Saturday night and Sunday at Natick High School. And for those who may not know the Boston area well, Natick is maybe, I don't think it's 20 miles outside of Boston.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah, it's not too far out.
yeah, and it's right off of Route 9. Now, I don't know where the high school
that's
is,
right.
but Natick.
Exactly. And a lot of folks are familiar with it because it's kind of where, a lot of productions are done. It's a lovely venue, very comfortable.
Oh, wow.
There's good seating and good sound, very good sound. So, yeah, that's why we choose to perform there.
Wow. Wow. Now, and then Lorenzo's in Staten Island. So you're going to go down to, obviously, to New York. That's December 4th, 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
At an Italian restaurant in New York. What a fascinating
I
venue.
know. Well, and it is a story. So the couple that owns the complex, so it's quite a few buildings there. We met them years ago when they were owners of a yogurt store in the Staten Island Mall. And our sisters had a kiosk that they would try to do, especially certain times a year. And again, because we have our little bookshops, we would try to have a selection of our books where people were to bring faith into their shopping. And so the sisters would visit with the couple and would say, we're nonprofits. So it was always a challenge to try to pay rent and try to pay overhead to any of our locations. So this couple, the Nicotras, were very interested in helping us to provide for the rest of the year. So they said, can you do anything? What do you do? And we're like, well, we sing. And they planned a concert at a parish. And it would be now about 30 years ago. And the sisters got up there with their binders and they didn't look at anybody. They just sang their little songs and then they took up a collection. And that's kind of how it got started. And the Nicotras obviously advanced in their business. And for many years, they hosted us at their hotel, which was a huge ballroom and where there was tables and a meal. And but with COVID, everything kind of
that's right.
Got disrupted, which also included our live shows. And only recently we were having a little visit with them, and they said, "Well, why don't you come and perform here?" Because we were actually sitting in Lorenzo's at the time, and they said, "We think your closest friends would want to see you again. So why don't you come?" And so we started last year by doing it in this smaller smaller venue, and it really is very intimate. They
Hmm.
call it an intimate evening with the Daughters of St. Paul.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's lovely, and it's like a family reunion because we see people that we've known for many years that have been
Wow.
such a support to our mission, but also new people. A lot of new folks
Hmm.
come too. So it's just a fun night.
And now it's a restaurant, so is it like can you have dinner there?
Yeah, so they serve a full meal.
Wow.
And again, it's a cabaret style. So the tables probably seat, well, they kind of arrange it for the cabaret. So they do it side of long tables. But everybody was really happy with their view and the sound. The restaurant was built to do small shows. So
Wow.
it has tremendous sound. And we have a sound engineer who travels with us, who knows us. He knows how to make us sound good, and he
Great.
can work with whatever. So it's just been a great blessing.
And actually, you think about just something to throw in there. You have all these dreams of what you could do. I mean, I dreamed all my life to work in media, and you can see how well that worked.
It's working awesome. Look at you.
It is. I'm doing podcasts, and I really enjoy doing these.
Yeah.
And I also work with a Brazilian television network that's the size of EWTN, except it's based in Brazil and
Wow.
does everything
Yeah.
in Portuguese.
Yeah.
So fascinating. Now you have this sound engineer who probably never dreamed when he got into sound engineering of working with the Daughters of St. Paul.
No, I mean, the thing about him is like we met him at, he worked in a sound store, like they sold speakers and equipment. And he met our conductor at the time, and she was just buying equipment. But we had a project, and he came in and just did engineering for us. And
Wow.
he just has been a good friend, and we've grown. We watched him grow. Just put it that way.
Wow.
And he doesn't even live in Boston anymore, but we get him to come over when we do the concerts, just because we know him, he knows us. He's just very trustworthy, and we enjoy working with him. So yeah, he's yeah. I don't think he imagined that.
Isn't that so? That's so funny. That's the way the Lord works.
Amen. Yes.
What songs are you going to be singing?
So this year, we are going to do some of our favorites. Like there's songs that no matter where we go, people have come to know, relate us to certain songs. So of course we're going to do some of the classics like Silent Night, and Oh Come All Ye Faithful. But some songs are just like we tried not performing them, and there was like mutiny in the bounty. we had to learn from that experience. So one song that we do, it's called Angels Among Us. It's a song written by the country band Alabama.
Oh, wow.
But it just tells a really beautiful story about how people can really step into our lives and lead us on the good path, which is what an angel does, messenger of God.
Well, that's true.
And
Yeah.
so we sing that song, and it's just a great way for us to thank people who are angels to us. So that's become kind of a Christmas song for us. But we're going to be throwing in a couple songs that are new or old new ones, songs that we haven't done live in a long time. One is Carol of the Bells.
My favorite Christmas song.
I love that song. I love that. And actually, that was one song that really, when I visited the sisters back in 1989, they gave me a cassette tape, and it was called The Wonder of Christmas, and that's where they recorded the Carol of the Bells. And I thought it was exquisite. I remember thinking, wow, it was just beautiful. So yeah, we'll be performing that one. And then we're going to do some that are Catholic songs that you may not think of as Christmas, but when we sing it in the context of the concert, I think there's some lights that are going to turn on for people. So
Wow.
we're excited about that too.
Well, this sounds fascinating, and I'll mention the website again. It's pauline.org/concert. It's one word.
Yeah.
Or not.
Singular.
I mean, it's singular rather.
Yeah.
Concert, and two venues. December 4th at Lorenzo's Restaurant at 1100 South Avenue in Staten Island, New York. And in Boston, just outside of Boston, at Natick High School Auditorium, which is on West Street in Natick, Massachusetts. Wow. This is exciting. And unfortunately, we're coming up to the end of time, but this is exciting, and it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, we love doing it, and again, the rapport between the audience and the sisters, it's something that really, it's always different, but it's always such a real presence of God fills the room, and we all experience it. So I would invite anybody, bring your kids. The kids 12 and under come in free. But we really encourage families. It becomes like a tradition. So yeah, come on. It's great.
And I see if you click on a time you're interested in going, it comes up with different options for tickets.
Yep.
On the website, so you can check out there's tickets, and then there is sponsorship ticket as well.
Yeah. So if you feel called to support the sisters, the mission, all of that, you can be a sponsor to the concert. And it really provides for us, not just for this event, but it's throughout the year. And also there are ticket options, group options, like bundle options. If you want to bring like maybe some folks in your parish, or maybe bring some people from a nursing home, we would love to see that, because again, it's that time of year where we just really need to encourage each other and be filled with God's Holy Spirit. And remember that Jesus is really the reason, for Christmas.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, again, I want to thank you so much, Sister. This Sister Tracey Mathia Dugas.
Beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. This is wonderful. Thank you for telling us all about these concerts. I definitely want to let people know. And I cannot thank you enough for joining us.
And I'm so grateful to have been your guest and to be able to share to all your audience about our mission and about the music.
And your own story.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, have yourself a blessed night.
Thank you. Same to you.
And we want to remind people where to find tickets for the concert. If you're in the New York area, New York, by the way, there are a lot of places that surround New York, everywhere from Pennsylvania, New York, obviously, Connecticut, New Jersey. So if you're in the New York area in Staten Island, December 4th, the sisters will be in concert at Lorenzo's Restaurant. That's 1100 South Avenue in Staten Island, New York. Again, go to pauline.org/concert. Remember, that's not plural. And you're going to find the information on that. Click on where it says December 4th, 6:30 p.m., and you'll see how to buy tickets. And for those in the Boston area, which of course includes pretty much all of New England, and if you want to drive from the New York border or so, Albany, etc., it's about 3 hours from there. But other than that, around the New England area, it is December 13th at 7 p.m. That's obviously a Saturday night concert. And then there's a matinee concert, December 14th, following day, at 3 p.m. That's at Natick High School Auditorium, 15 West Street, Natick, Massachusetts. And Natick, of course, is just outside of the Boston area. If you're on Route 90, it is the Route 30 exit. And if you're from the Midwest, it's Route 30 or on Route 90. But in any case, that's how to get to Natick. So in any case, either way, Route 90 from Boston or Route 90 from Western Boston, it's the exit 30. area. And definitely check pauline.org/concert, and you'll see all the information on how to buy tickets. Tickets are in Boston, in the Boston area, in Natick, they are $35, but there's also different levels that you can buy to also sponsor the Daughters of St. Paul and their good work and all they're doing. So check that out. So you can buy a ticket for $35, but you can also check out different sponsorship levels. So that will be at the Daughters of St. Paul Christmas concert in either Staten Island, New York at Lorenzo's Restaurant on December 4th at 6:30 p.m. or in Natick High School December 13th and 14th, and pauline.org/concert. We present Catholic teaching as accurately as possible, but the opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff and/or management of the Archdiocese of Boston or any other organization.